What does your faith tell you?
I believe you are innocent. I believe more is going on here than we can see. And I believe no one else cares to do anything about it. They will stand in the fire and complain that it is hot. But is this the Maker's will? I can only guess.
You don't think I'm the Herald of Andraste?
I think you were sent to help us. I hope you were. But the Maker's help takes many forms. Sometimes it's difficult to discern who it truly benefits, or how.
What's going to happen now?
Now, we deal with the Chantry's panic over you before they do even more harm. Then we close the breach. We are the only ones who can. After that, we find out who is responsible for this chaos, and we end them. And if there are consequences to be paid for what I have done, I pay them. I only pray the price is not too high.
You didn't have any choice.
Didn't I? My trainers always said, Cassandra, you are too brash. You must think before you act. I see what must be done, and I do it. I see no point in running around in circles like a dog chasing its tail. But I misjudged you in the beginning, did I not? I thought the answer was before me, clear as day. I cannot afford to be so careless again.
It wasn't like you had no reason to suspect me.
I was determined to have someone answer for what happened. Anyone. You've said you believe you're chosen. Does that mean you believe in the Maker?
I believe he exists.
That's comforting. Surely the Maker put us both on this path for a reason. Now it simply remains to see where it leads us. It occurs to me I don't actually know much about you.
What do you want to know?
I'm not sure. Where are you from?
I thought you knew that.
I suppose I could ask Liliana. She has collected a frightening amount of information on you. But I don't want to ask her. I want to hear it from you.
I was born in Ostwick, and that's where most of my family is.
The Trevellians, is it not? A large clan with a rather clever coat of arms. Tell me, do you consider the Free Marches your home? Are you eager to go back?
Wherever I am is home enough for me.
That's how I feel now, after years of tending to business for the divine.
I'd like to get to know you better.
You would?
Is that a problem?
Not entirely. I'm just curious as to your motivation.
Is there any harm in us becoming a little closer?
Plenty.
Is that right?
As you wish. My name is Cassandra Pentecost, daughter of the Royal House of Navarra, 78th in line for the Navarran throne. I joined the Seekers of Truth as a young woman, and was with the Order until they withdrew from the Chantry. I remained as the Divine's right hand, carrying out her order to form the Inquisition. And here we are. That's all there is to know, my lady.
You're a member of Navarra's royal family.
The Pentecosts are a very large clan. Half of Cumberland could say the same.
Really?
No, but it feels that way. I have hundreds of relatives so distant they need charts to prove we're related at all. And they have them. Oh yes. The Pentecosts value their precious blood like it runs with gold.
And you joined the Seekers to get away from that?
It was a life worth getting away from. The Pentaghasts are famed for dragon hunting, but few actually pursue the craft. Most are fat and lazy. They pay lip service to the Maker and care only for idle pleasures and past glories. My brother was all that kept me in Navarra. Once he was gone, so was I.
Tell me about your brother.
I would prefer not to speak of Anthony. Another time, perhaps.
You don't seem to like your homeland much.
My family polluted it for me. What little I saw of my homeland was through the bars of a gilded cage. My uncle treated me like a porcelain doll to be placed on a shelf and dusted only when necessary. Thus I did not see Navarra, the real Navarra, until much later. By then I realized I knew it not at all.
Your uncle? What about your parents?
They had the misfortune of taking the wrong side in the second attempt to overthrow King Marcus. The king executed them, but spared my brother and I since we were family, and children at the time. Thus we were raised by my uncle, a mortalitasi who preferred the company of his corpses to the living.
Your uncle was a mortalitasi?
A death mage. He still is. My countrymen do not burn the dead, they bury them in special crypts. The mortalitasi supervise the crypts, like priests. Uncle Vestalis oversees the grand necropolis. Navarrans spend more time honoring dead relatives than they do with living ones. It is odd to be so fascinated with death and its trappings. I will never understand it.
So you were the right hand to the Divine?
To Divine Justinia, yes. And Divine Beatrix before her, in fact. The position is normally reserved for Templars of the Knights Divine, but my circumstances were unusual.
Unusual how?
You don't know the story? Thank the Maker. I will tell you if you wish, but it isn't as exciting as some drum it up to be. The short version is that I once saved the previous Divine's life. My reward was becoming her right hand.
But what does a right hand do, exactly?
What is your hand capable of? It gives, it takes, it beckons. It makes a fist. Liliana and I extended the Divine's reach beyond the Grand Cathedral. We went where she could not. After Beatrix, I was tired of the position and wanted to return to the Seekers. But Justinia convinced me to stay. Her vision for the future gave me hope.
You thought she could really change things?
Justinia knew the war was coming long before it began. She tried to avert it, but the forces arrayed against her were too strong. Sometimes you have to break a bone so it can be reset. That's where the Inquisition comes in. It was to be the answer. A means to preserve as well as an agent for change. I only wish she had lived to see it.
So, what's the story about you becoming the right hand?
Sweet Andraste, do you really want to hear that? It was, 18, 20 years ago? Some still discuss it like it happened yesterday. The tale gets bigger each time it's told. I barely recognize myself within it now.
I'm sure you're just being modest.
I was there. I think I know what happened. To hear others tell it, I alone saved Divine Beatrix from a horde of dragons sent to assault the Grand Cathedral. Rather impressive for such a young seeker, wouldn't you say?
And the truth is?
I stumbled upon a conspiracy to kill Beatrix. A Templar Knight Commander was at its heart. And there was a dragon battle at the Grand Cathedral, but I had help from loyal mages who rallied to the cause. They freed the dragons from magical control. Without them, the Divine and I would both have died. Yet I became the right hand, and they are forgotten.
You're delightful. You know that?
No, I do not know that. I object. There is nothing delightful about me.
I beg to differ.
I think I preferred you in the stocks.
I'll let you get back to work.
Do you need something?
Can you tell me more about the Seekers?
The Seekers of Truth were born from the original Inquisition long ago, when it united with the Chantry. Seekers stood above the Templars, watching over them but also investigating magical events they couldn't handle. We were meant to be incorruptible, above reproach. How seldom does reality match the ideal?
But what are Seekers exactly?
Those who know anything of us think we are Templars. We do not use lyrium, however. Our abilities are different, as was our original purpose. We disciplined the Templars and were accountable only to the Divine, and not even her, truthfully.
So nobody ever watched over the Seekers?
It was the Divine's duty, but she could only do so much when the truth was hidden from her. The Templars have always feared us. When a Seeker arrived at a circle, they knew trouble was afoot. That kind of power is troubling. You begin to think you are the only one who can solve the world's problems. If you don't see a problem, it doesn't exist. If someone insists it does, they are the blind ones.
Do you think that kind of problem could ever be fixed?
Possibly. Though the Seekers themselves would need to change. They were clearly not willing to, even though they abandoned everything they stood for to avoid it. In my heart, I believe they can still be salvaged, but not by their own hands.
You mentioned that Seekers have different abilities than Templars.
Entirely. A Templar's abilities come from lyrium and are designed to hunt mages. Ours come from ritual and many years of dedicated training. We cannot be possessed by demons and are immune to mind control, useful considering our role. Seekers can gain other gifts, though that depends on the individual.
What kind of gifts do you have?
I can set the lyrium within a person's blood aflame. Both mages and Templars bend before my will. Some Seekers use it to interrogate, others simply to paralyze. Once there was a Seeker who could use it to kill. That particular gift is considered rare.
Why did your order turn against the Chantry?
We originally united with the Chantry through a treaty that stated they would keep mages under control. It was felt Most Holy had tacitly allowed the Circle of Magi to vote on its independence, thus breaking the treaty. The Seekers saw themselves as justified, and they led the Templars into a war of righteousness.
You sound like you disagree.
We knew what was happening at Kirkwall, where the Mage Rebellion began. We looked into reports of Knight Commander Meredith's harsh treatment of her charges years earlier. But we found so many shocking cases of magical corruption, it was decided her actions were justified. If we'd been there when it happened, if we'd looked harder at the root causes...
You seem to care a great deal about it.
Too much, if you ask the rest of my order. When faced with a problem, the Seekers would close ranks and crush it. We would find an answer, but only once we felt we weren't being coerced. The moment the mages voted for independence, our response was predictable. It was difficult to watch.
How does someone become a Seeker?
Most Seekers begin training in their youth. I was much older, an exception due to my noble birth. We train rigorously for years. Our bodies and minds must be elastic to undergo the vigil, and most fail even then.
Is the vigil some kind of initiation?
It is the rite every Seeker must go through in order to summon their gifts. A full year of fasting, prayer, and separation from all distractions, including other people. We empty ourselves of all emotion, focusing only on the purity of our devotion. And the moment it finally ends, it's wonderful. Faith realized. I cannot put it into words.
I wish I could experience that.
If the vigil was not so arduous, I'd say more should attempt it. What if mages never needed to fear possession by demons? I'm told it is impossible, however. I suppose I'll never know the truth of it now.
I've no more questions.
Do you need something?
I have some more questions.
Why am I not surprised?
Tell me about your brother.
I would prefer not to speak of Anthony. Another time, perhaps.
I'll let you get back to work.
Yes?
May I ask you about the Chantry?
It is difficult to say what becomes of the Chantry now. They have no Templars, no leadership, and no one left who is worthy of succeeding the Divine. It has fallen apart when everyone needs it the most. I ache to think what this will mean in the days to come.
Do you really believe the Chantry is worth preserving?
If you ask my opinion, it is. Absolutely. Cast the Chantry aside and new problems replace old ones. We will have learned nothing from history. The people need stability, and the Chantry needs a new purpose. Andraste had a dream for us. It can still be achieved.
So, what should this new purpose be?
A dedication to what is truly important. Instead of building cathedrals and sewing gowns for the Divine, the Chantry used to spend its coin feeding the poor. If we are to spread the Maker's word across the world, we must do so with open hearts and open hands.
That sounds rather idealistic of you.
Does it? I do not think it's so unachievable. The Chantry has many good, honest people. They just need direction and inspiration. They need to be freed from centuries of adherence to tradition and ceremony. A chance for renewal is at our fingertips. It does not have to come with utter chaos.
Will the Chantry replace Divine Justinia?
They will try. Once the priests withdraw for the Grand Consensus, it is against Chantry law for them to emerge without naming a new Divine. Sometimes it takes days, or weeks, or even months. The problem now is that no clear successor to Justinia exists. All worthy clerics died with her at the conclave.
So what happens if they can't agree on someone?
Theoretically, they will argue until exhaustion takes them or they see reason. Practically, however, if the Grand Consensus goes on too long, the Chantry will crumble. Any cleric with ambition but little sense will see this as her one chance, and plenty of such clerics exist. We shall see what happens. The Inquisition must act in the meantime.
If they do choose a new Divine, will you serve her?
That depends on whether she would have me. I am a rebel now, remember? And even if she would, I do not know. It would depend on what type of Divine she is. I am no longer in a position to follow blindly, and no new Divine could expect such obedience now.
What influence does Chancellor Roderick really wield?
He's a bureaucrat, responsible for communicating the Divine's will to the rest of the Chantry. Therefore, he's accustomed to the clerics hanging on his every word, hoping his influence will benefit them. Despite that, Roderick is not a bad man. He's frightened, and believes his place is to fill the gap left by Most Holy's death. Some might agree. As far down the chain of command as he is, there is no one left above him.
How big a problem could he be?
No more than he is already. He sent his message to the College of Clerics. That is the only card he had to play. Dealing with him further only lends him credibility he doesn't deserve.
I'm surprised you rebelled against the Chantry.
I left my own order when they took the wrong path. It is no different. But in neither case did I stop caring. Indeed, I care so much that I feel drastic action is necessary. I suppose history shall one day judge my actions.
Thank you.
Do you need something?
I have some more questions.
Why am I not surprised?
Tell me about...
I would prefer not to speak of Anthony. Another time, perhaps.
I'll let you get back to work.
If the Inquisition wants to field a decent cavalry, it needs better horses. I heard Seeker Pentecost might try to acquire suitable mounts from Master Dennett in the hinterlands.
Who are you to be fishing around with the pirates doing?
Back in Amsterdam, my uncle.
Nissa thought you and your men might be working up a thirst. She sent me over to see if you needed anything.
We're fine, thank you.
Something, let me know. Another time, then. Expected you'd be by. I'm Harriet, and everyone knows who you are. How's the new gear fit?
Sturdy and warm. It's perfect.
Good. World's gone mad. Stock armor and blades are good against bandits, but we're not fighting bandits. My gear will see you through demons, apostate. So, you need custom work. Something special. You bring the materials to us, we'll make it happen.
How did you come to be here?
Come from a little town called Lothering. I was in Redcliffe when the Darkspawn hit it during the... Left when royalty decided it was time to end. Ended up here. Can't decide if I'm the luckiest son of a bitch walking or the exact opposite.
Whichever you are, I hope...
A man can dream.
How did you come to be...
Long story, not worth telling twice.
Who outfits the Inquisition?
Not me. I've got work to do. If you want to help the troops, talk to Thren, the quartermaster. She'll set up requisitions.
Does the Inquisition not have supplies to make armor or weapons?
Tough convincing trading. Impossible to get them to risk the rare stuff, so that's on you.
What can you and your...
Arms and armor. We work iron to blight. Our designs are simple. You want something fancy, bring your own design. We'll see what we can do.
If I want something, what can you make?
Start simple. Something to keep you safe. Take a look at it on the table there and we can talk. You'll need materials. We should have what you want just outside.
Can you help improve my arms and armor?
Yes. You find a new piece, a pauldron or greaves, we'll take care of you. You can't just slap a new hilt on your sword in the field. Bring it here, we'll make sure it's done right and proper.
Can you help improve...
Yes. You can't just slap a new hilt on your sword in the field. Bring it here.
Goodbye.
Right. You need... Something... Serve you well. Should serve you well. Another time then.
We'll need some of your cloth for bandages. And how much is... Good day. Or good as it could be with the sky ripped apart.
What kind of person stays...
The kind with no... was blast. If I stay here, work some contacts, I can start rebuilding. Maybe, just maybe,
You must speak with most everyone here.
hope and fear in equal measure. I imagine it's no better for you. You've got my sympathies, for what it's worth. Stay safe.
We've got scattered reports of Vinter sightings in the...
These truths the Maker has revealed to me. As there is but one God, one life, one death, there is but one...
Assumption Scout Elaine. No Circle Mage's ever called anything like the bridge.
What kind of name is Charter, anyway? Doesn't sound elven.
I said you could call me that, Scout Elaine. I never said it was my name.
You're a bit terrifying at times, Charter.
Why? Because you're realising that every elf you casually call Knife Ear might have a life you know nothing about?
I was hoping you'd forgotten about that.
In this line of work, we can afford to forget nothing.
Master Harry said we weren't to sell...
What Harry doesn't know won't hurt him.
My creator, judge me whole. Find me well within you.
So, now that Cassandra's out of earshot, are you holding up all right? I mean, you go from being the most wanted criminal in Thedas to joining the armies of the faithful. Most people would have spread that out over more than one day.
It's not so bad. I'm taking it in my stride.
Better than most of us, then. For days now, we've been staring at the breach, watching demons and maker knows what fall out of it. Bad for morale would be an understatement. I still can't believe anyone was in there and lived.
If it was that bad, why did you stay? Cassandra said you were free to go.
I like to think I'm as selfish and irresponsible as the next guy, but this... Thousands of people died on that mountain. I was almost one of them. Even I can't walk away and just leave that to sort itself out.
The breach needs to be sealed.
If it can, you might want to consider running at the first opportunity. I've written an... Heroes are everywhere. I've seen that. But the hole in the... Need something?
Can I ask you something, Varric?
You want to talk about me? I'm flattered. Also inclined toward extravagant lies.
Thanks, Varric.
No problem.
Master Harry said that without more ore, he won't be able to get blades for the recruits.
Tell Master Herrick that ore doesn't grow...
Yes, Mom. I think he knows.
No, my lady, I don't know where the other nobles are. I suggest you ask Ambassador Montilyet. Oh, you're her. Thrin. Inquisition Quartermaster. I'm doing what... If you find what I need to fill one of my requisitions, I'd appreciate you bringing it in.
What do you do here?
I make sure the Inquisition troops have food in their bellies, and both are important. Lots of people expecting us... Turns out heroes need to dig latrines just like everyone else.
If I have materials for a...
Just take it over there. One of my boys will take the materials or jot down what you found.
What did you mean when you mentioned...
I'm making this Inquisition run with what we have, but we're stretched thin on materials. So I've put up a requisition list for anything that could... Here, take a look. You find some iron and a good logging site. Maybe Harriet can get our troops better weapons.
Farewell.
Make her go with you. You find anything we need, let me know. Find anything we need, let me know.
Blessed are the peacekeepers, the champions of the just. Blessed are the righteous, the lights in the shadow. In their blood, the Maker's will is written. Is that what you want from us? Blood? To die so that your will is done? Is death your only blessing? You speak for Andraste, no? What does the Maker's prophet have to say about all of this? What's his game? How is this a game? Do you see the sky? What about the temple ruins? The bones lying in the dust? Even if you didn't support the Divine's peace, you wouldn't call this right. Who could? So many innocent lives. The faithful murdered where the holiest of holies once stood. If the Maker willed this, what is it if not a game or a cruel joke? Don't ask me, I'm as baffled as you are. Then we can only guess at what he wants. The Chantry teaches that the Maker abandoned us. He demands repentance for our sins. He demands it all. Our lives, our deaths. Justinia gave him everything she had, and he let her die. I'm sorry. Her death has clearly hit you hard. Not just me. All of us. She was the Divine. She led the faithful. She was their heart. If the Maker doesn't intervene to save the best of his servants, what good is he? I used to believe I was chosen, just as some say you are. I thought I was fulfilling his purpose for me, working with the Divine, helping people. But now she's dead. It was all for nothing. Serving the Maker meant nothing. Maybe you have another purpose. I could help you find it. No, this is my burden. I regret that I even let you see me like this. It was a moment of weakness. It won't happen again. Come, to work then. We will speak later. So it's true. Butler has stand on us. I hope my hunch was wrong.
You knew him well?
Not as well as I thought. Show me the reports. There were so many questions surrounding Farria's death. Did he think we wouldn't notice? He's killed Farria, one of my best agents, and knows where the others are. You know what must be done. Make it clean. Painless if you can. We were friends once.
Glad to see traitors are dealt with quickly.
We must do whatever it takes to protect our interests. I am pleased that you agree.
It's good to know that protecting the Inquisition is a priority for you.
Of course. I do not neglect my responsibilities. We will make the Inquisition a force to fear. Now, if you're happy, I have more work to do. Reports of fade rifts and demons keep coming. The people are terrified, and it's only getting worse. The only thing that will calm their fears now, you have to be that someone. Seal them. Your legend will spread, and Thedas will learn to trust the Inquisition.
I'll leave you to your work.
I'm listening.
Why do you want me to seek out the rebel mages? Why do you care?
I've known mages. Some of them were better people than me. And yet I'm free and they're not. It's not right.
They called you the left hand of the Divine.
That they did? What of it?
What is the point of an Inquisition?
Justinia would have started the Inquisition if the Divine Conclave failed to restore peace. She hoped that with enough support, we could challenge the very tenets of the Chantry. She wanted the Chantry to treat the mages fairly. But sometimes I wonder, why stop at mages? The Chantry has committed many injustices. If we're going to change it, why not change the whole thing? It's just a thought. None of this will be possible if we fail.
I'm sorry she didn't live to see the Inquisition.
So am I.
I could use the left hand of the Divine at my side out there.
Every agent out in the world is my eyes, my ears, my blade. Wherever my people are, I am also. Coming with you, leaving my post, would blind and bound me. Do you see?
What exactly does the left hand of the Divine do?
A Divine always has enemies, and Justinia had more than most. I protected her. I watched, had an ear to every door. I identified threats, and I dealt with them.
Why did Justinia have so many enemies?
There were many who felt she was unfit to be divine. Unlike many, she wasn't given to the Chantry as a child. And because they thought she was unworthy, they wished her harm.
So you were her spy master too?
I handled difficult situations that couldn't be resolved through more delicate means.
I'd like to hear about just
a friend. It made her human. I think her followers responded to that.
Was there something more than...
You're asking if we were lovers? Typical. I was devoted to her, therefore... Love is common. Love is simple. She was a sister. So to answer your question, yes, it was more than friendship.
How did you
I met her a long time ago, before she became... When I met her, she was Mother Dorothea. No, wait. She hates it when I say that. I saved myself. She just showed me.
We'll talk more.
Did you need something?
Let's talk about you.
Me?
What did you do before you worked for the Divine?
I trained to be a spy from a young age. For a while, I was wildly happy. I loved the thrill of that love. I went into hiding, and when I emerged, she presented me with my own network of spies and said I was the only one she could trust.
Bards tell tales. I bet you tell...
There are plenty of tales in the library. Perhaps you should look for them there.
I should leave you to your work.
We can always talk later. I'm listening.
You seem to know a great many people.
I have made friends, and on occasion enemies. It's unavoidable.
You have a history with the warden who entered the Blight.
I had the privilege of calling her friend. The world so much joy after that. It still does.
You seem to know Joseph.
I met her a long time ago, but we didn't become good friends. I just returned to Val Royeaux, and she welcomed me back by throat. She was the Antivan ambassador at the time. The ball was... all right. We've been friends ever since.
What do you consider?
It's not a real party until someone's small clothes are pinned to a chantry board. And that's all I'm saying about it.
We can continue this conversation later.
You know where I am. Did you need something?
Anything I should know?
I've nothing to report at the moment.
Anything
I've nothing to report at the moment.
I'll leave you...
Your kind killed the most holy. Lies. Your kind let her die. Shut your mouth, mate!
Enough!
Knight Captain.
That is not my title. We are not Templars any longer. We are all part of the Inquisition.
And what does that mean exactly?
Back already, Chancellor. Haven't you done enough?
I'm curious, Commander, as to how your Inquisition and its herald will restore order as you've promised.
Of course you are. Back to your duties, all of you. Mages and Templars were already at war. Now they're blaming each other for the Divine's death.
Which is why we require a proper authority.
Who? You? Random clerics who weren't important enough to be...
The Rebel Inquisition and its so-called Herald of Andraste? I think not.
If the proper authority hadn't completely failed, the Conclave...
So you suggest I blame the Chantry and exalt...
That won't help restore order.
Order will never be restored so long as this rebellion is allowed to fester.
Remind me why you're allowing the Chancellor to stay?
Clearly, your Templar knows where to...
He's toothless. There's no point turning him into a martyr simply because he runs at the mouth. The Chancellor's a good indicator of what to expect in Val Royeaux, however.
How widespread is the violence between mages and...
Impossible to say.
Your organization flouting the Chantry's authority will not help matters.
With the Conclave destroyed, I imagine the war between mages and Templars is renewed with interest.
The mages and Templars are fighting, even though we don't know what really happened at the...
Exactly why all this should be left to a new Divine. If you are innocent...
Or we'll be happy to use someone as a scapegoat.
You think nobody cares about the truth?
But you won't grieve if the Herald of Andraste is conveniently swept under a carpet.
Well, let's hope we find solutions and not a...
The stuff of night...
Mock, if you will. I'm certain that...
I will keep the peace while you and the others appeal to the Chantry.
Better ready yourself for the...
I will keep the peace.
Better
Segrit told me that he can't let the herbs go for anything less than 8.
Fine. We'll gather our own. Tell Segrit he better hope he doesn't need a salve anytime soon. Look who's back from the dead. Again.
I don't recall me...
I'd be surprised if you did. You went... Someone had to patch you up after you staggered out of making knows where, though. So, you're welcome.
I didn't realize.
Yeah. Well, name's Zidane. I'm in charge of keeping our little back. Not that Seeker Pentagast seems to care whether we've got the supplies to actually do that.
How do I go about having...
Just take a look there and tell me what you'd like. Find a recipe. You're back. And in one piece.
Is there anything I...
We're fine as far as raw labor goes. You've more important. I only wish I'd been able to find Master Tajin's notes. He died at the Conclave, and his notes weren't here. Been too busy dealing with the wounded to look for them.
How do I go...
Just take a look. Perhaps another time. Right.
The Chosen of Andraste. a blessed hero sent to save us all.
I didn't ask for this, but...
Spoken no... You think I'm mocking you? This age has made... I've journeyed deep into the Fade in ancient ruins and battlefields to see the dreams of lost civilizations. I've watched as hosts of spirits clash to reenact the bloody past in ancient wars both famous and forgotten. Every great war has its heroes. I'm just curious what kind you'll be.
What do you mean, ruins and battlefields?
Any building strong enough to withstand the rigors of time has a history. Every battlefield is steeped in death. Both attract spirits. They press against the veil. When I dream in such places, I go deep into the Fade. I can find memories no other living being has ever seen.
You fall asleep in the middle of ancient ruins.
I do set wards. And if you leave food out for the giant spiders, they are usually content to live and let live.
I've never heard of anyone going so far into the Fade.
Thank you. It's not a common field of study for obvious reasons. Not so flashy as the thrill of finding remnants of a 1,000-year-old dream. I will stay there. At least...
Was that in doubt?
I am an apostate surrounded by Chantry forces in the middle of... Cassandra has been accommodating. But you understand my caution.
The giant hole in the sky trumps any other concerns.
Yes. Who can say what this world will... But now let us hope either the mages or the Templars have the power. Closing the breach is our primary goal. But I hope we... Any artifact of such power is dangerous. The destruction of the Conclave proves that much.
We would do well to try to recover what...
Liliana's people have scoured the area, whatever the artifact. In any case, did you need me for anything?
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
At least we've got Inquisition troops out at Redcliffe, giving those people some reason.
Come to me, child.
Apothecary
and
Adon
I
will have
shall
more
bring
poultices for the injured as soon as
in
possible,
my
revered
arms
mother.
lies its-
Thank you, child. You are doing the Maker's work.
Have you been able to save many people?
darkness comes upon me, I shall embrace the light.
Researcher
I shall
Manave wishes
weather
to
the
verify
storm.
that the
I
infections
shall
have
endure.
decreased in number.
What you have
Yes.
created, no
Thank you
one
for
can
your
tear asunder.
The Inquisition cannot remain, Ambassador, if you can't prove it was founded on Justinia's orders.
This is an inopportune time, Marquis. More of the faithful flock here each day. But allow me to introduce you to the brave soul who risked her life to slow the magic of the breach. Sir Trevelyan, may I present the Marquis d'Aurelion, one of Divine Justinia's greatest supporters.
And the rightful owner of Haven. House d'Aurelion lent Justinia these lands for pilgrimage. This Inquisition is not a beneficiary of this arrangement.
This is the first I've heard of Haven having an owner outside the Chantry.
My wife, Lady Machin of Denner, has claimed to Haven by ancient treaty with the monarchs of Ferelden. We were honored to lend its use to Divine Justinia. She was a woman of supreme merit. I will not let an upstart order remain on her holy grounds.
Interesting, considering the Inquisition was begun by the left and right hands of the Divine.
I've seen no written records from Sister Liliana or Seeker Pentecost that Justinia approved the Inquisition.
If you won't take her at her word, I'm afraid Seeker Pentagast must challenge him to a duel.
What?
It is a matter of honor among the Navarrans. Shall I arrange the bout for tonight?
No. Perhaps my reaction to the Inquisition's presence was somewhat hasty.
We face a dark time, Your Grace. Divine Justinia would not want her passing to divide us. She would, in fact, trust us to forge new alliances to the benefit of all, no matter how strange they might seem.
I'll think on it, Lady Montillier. The Inquisition might stay in the meanwhile.
Do the Durelions actually have a claim on this place?
His Grace's position is not so strong as he presents it. Despite their Ferelden relations, the Durelions are Orlesian. If the Marquis wishes to claim Haven, Empress Selene must negotiate with the Ferelden on his behalf. Her current concerns are a bit larger than minor property disputes.
His Grace was all bluster then.
Even should he leave, the Marquis will share his thoughts on us upon his return to Val-Royaux. Every guest we receive, and we will receive them, will spread the Inquisition's story. An ambassador should ensure the tale is as complimentary as possible.
May I ask, what brought you to work for the Inquisition?
Sister Liliana approached me. We've been acquainted for quite some time. For better or worse, being the Inquisition's diplomat has become as interesting as she promised.
What sort of dealings have you had with nobility?
For some years, I was the royally appointed court ambassador from Antiva to Orlais. The nobility of Thedas is a rather singular sphere. Those I'm not acquainted with, I know through reputation.
The Inquisition is lucky to have you as an advocate, Lady Montillier.
Thank you. Let us hope so. Thedas' politics have become agitated as of late. I hope to guide us down smoother paths. But please excuse me. I've much work to do before the day is done.
We can use that. If you find anything, please bring it in. You're the Herald. Or, well, the one I hope the Inquisition can restore order soon. I never really wanted to leave the Circle. My name is Maeve. I research demons and other creatures. Seeker Pentagast and I use what I find to help the soldiers fight them.
I found something the demons left.
Yes, that's very helpful. You've brought back some fascinating things. We're putting them to good use.
You said Cassandra has you researching creatures.
Yes. If you find anything interesting, I may be able to find some weakness our soldiers can... At the least, some materials are useful for making potions or gear for the Inquisition.
You said you were...
No, just... I was never very good at... But when the mages rebelled, people... Luckily, Seeker Pentagast took me in. Along with the Tranquil I was protected.
I'll speak with you.
Thank you again.
My scouts still comb the hills for clues about the explosion. I'll take what I can find. Let us begin.
To work?
Let's see what we have.
yourself to a suck from the basket. But only one! Watch your step. We received a shipment of invisible nuts the other day. I liked your old nose better.
Heretics, just like that. Should we surrender or...
Don't be foolish. We are the Chantry, as much as any Grand Cleric. Valroya is the word of the maker.
Heaven has been filled with silence.
I don't know
knew
if
that.
Apothecary Dog can get you that.
garnering interest from the capital. Having the Herald address the clerics is not a terrible idea.
You can't be serious.
Mother Giselle isn't wrong. At the moment, the Chantry's only strength is that they are united in opinion.
And we should ignore the danger to the Herald.
Let's ask her.
What can they do? It's just talk. Don't underestimate the power of their words. An angry mob will do you in just as quickly as a blade.
I will go with her. Mother Giselle said she could provide us names.
But why? This is nothing but a...
What choice do we have, Liliana? Right now we use what influence we have to call the clerics together. Once they are ready, we will see this through. The city still mourns.
Just a guess, Seeker, but I think they all know who we are.
Your skills of observation never fail to impress me, Varric.
My Lady Herald.
You're one of Leliane's people. What have you found?
The Chantry Mothers await you, but so do a great many Templars.
There are Templars here?
People seem to think the Templars will protect them from the Inquisition. They're gathering on the other side of the market. I think that's where the Templars intend to meet you.
Only one thing to do, then. They wish to protect the people? From us? Return to Haven. Someone will need to inform them if we are delayed.
As you say, my lady.
People of Val Royal, hear me. Together, we mourn our divine. A naive and beautiful heart, silenced by treachery. You wonder what will become of a murderer. Well, wonder no more. Behold, the so-called Herald of Andraste, claiming to rise where our beloved fell. We say this is a false prophet, no servant of anything beyond her selfish greed.
You say I am the enemy. The breach in the sky is our true enemy. We must unite to stop it.
It's true. The Inquisition seeks only to...
It is already too late. The Templars have returned to the Chantry. They will face this Inquisition and the people.
Still yourself. She is beneath us.
Was that display supposed to impress me?
On the contrary, it wasn't for you at all.
Lord Seeker Lucius, it's imperative that we speak with...
You will not address me.
Lord Seeker?
Creating a heretical movement. Raising up a puppet as Andraste's prophet. You should be ashamed. You should all be ashamed. The Templars failed no one when they left the Chantry to purge the mages. You are the ones who have failed. You who'd leash our righteous swords with doubt and fear. If you came to appeal to the Chantry, you are too late. The only destiny here that demands respect is mine.
What we truly need is an alliance that will seal the breach.
Oh, the breach is indeed a threat. But you certainly have no power to do anything about it.
But Lord Seeker, what if she really was sent by the Maker? What if...
You are called to a higher purpose. Do not question.
I will make the Templar Order a power that stands alone. You have shown me nothing, and the Inquisition, less than nothing. Templars, Val Royeaux is unworthy of our protection. We march.
Charming fellow, isn't he?
Has Lord Seeker Lucius gone mad?
Do you know him very well?
He took over the Seekers of Truth 2 years ago, after Lord Seeker Lambert's death. He was always a decent man, never given to ambition and grandstanding. This is very bizarre.
Fortunately, the Templars aren't our only hope.
I wouldn't write them off so quickly. There must be those in the Order who see what he's become. Either way, we should first return to Haven and inform the others.
If I might have a moment of your time.
Grand Enchanter Fiona?
Leader of the Mage Rebellion. Is it not dangerous for you to be here?
I heard of this gathering, and I wanted to see the fabled Herald of Andraste with my own eyes. If it's help with the breach you seek, perhaps my people are the wiser option.
I'm surprised the leader of the mages wasn't at the conclave.
Yes, you were supposed to be, and yet somehow you avoided death.
As did the Lord Seeker, you'll note. Both of us sent negotiators in our stead in case it was a trap. I won't pretend I'm not glad to live. I lost many dear friends that day. It disgusts me to think the Templars will get away with it. I'm hoping you won't let them.
So you think the Templars are responsible?
Why wouldn't she?
Lucius hardly seems broken up over his losses, if he's concerned about them at all. You heard him. You think he wouldn't happily kill the Divine to turn people against us? So yes, I think he did it. More than I think you did it, at any rate.
Does that mean the mages will help us?
We are willing to discuss it with the Inquisition at least. Consider this an invitation to Redcliffe. Come, meet with the mages. An alliance could help us both, after all. I hope to see you there. Au revoir, my Lady Herald.
Come, let us return to Haven. Greetings.
That's enough for now.
Another time, then.
You there. There's a shield in your hand. Lock with it. If this man were your enemy, you'd be dead. Lieutenant, don't hold back. The recruits must prepare for a real fight, not a practice one.
Yes, Commander.
We've received a number of recruits. Locals from Haven and some pilgrims. None made quite the entrance you did.
At least I got everyone's attention.
That you did. I was recruited to the Inquisition in Kirkwall myself. I was there during the Mage Uprising. I saw firsthand the devastation it caused.
Sir.
Cassandra sought a solution. When she offered me a position, I left the Templars to join her cause. Now it seems we face something far worse.
You left the Templars for this. You believe the Inquisition can work?
I do. The Chantry lost control of both Templars and Mages. Now they argue over a new Divine while the breach remains. The Inquisition could act when the Chantry cannot. Our followers would be part of that. There's so much we can... Forgive me. I doubt you came here for a lecture.
You understand our situation. I appreciate your opinion.
Look around. Our people are well organized and committed. Despite what the clerics think, we are in the best position to help. There's still a lot of work ahead.
Commander, Sir Ryder has a report on our supply lines.
As I was saying. Yes?
Is there anything I should know?
The Lord Seeker's actions are a mystery, but the Templars will aid us. They cannot sit idle while the breach remains.
That's all.
Should you require...
There might be something here. Better take a closer look.
I've heard about
cannot
Valpoyo.
stay here.
This is... I will not be joining them. At least the Inquisition does not stand directly opposed to the Chantry.
I will talk to...
Walk in the make...
She who trusts in the Maker, fire is her hope. As the moth sees light and goes toward flame, she could see fire and go toward...
I don't know.
Those are the forging tools of an apprentice. You'd like to use the hand.
Need something?
The red lyrium we found at the temple seemed to upset you.
My brother Bartrand. We located an... Bartrand brought it back to the surface, and, well, everything's gone down.
I think that's enough.
Yeah. Need something?
Carry on.
When will you be able to get us the crafting supplies we need?
When they're ready. Piss
Walk
off.
safely.
I'm listening. Anything I should know?
I've nothing to report at the moment.
I'll leave you to your work.
Perhaps another time. Perhaps another time. You're back. And in one piece.
You said you thought Master Tajan was worth...
The oak. You want some of these mixed up? You just give the word.
Farewell.
Perhaps another time.
As I explored the Fade, I felt the presence of an intriguing artifact in the hint. If you are willing, I would like to locate it. I have marked its location as best I could determine.
We'll talk...
Goodbye.
It's good you've returned. We heard of your encounter.
You heard?
My agents in the city sent word ahead, of course.
It's a shame the Templars have abandoned their senses, as well as the capital.
We had to do something, and now we have an opportunity.
Yes, and we have the opening we need to approach the Templars and the mages.
Do we? Lord Seeker Lucius is not the man I remember.
True, he has taken the orders somewhere, but to do what? My reports have been very odd.
We must look into it. I'm certain not everyone in the Order will support the Lord Seeker.
Or the Herald could simply go to meet the mages in Redcliffe instead.
You think the Mage Rebellion is more united? It could be 10 times worse.
I think the Templars are worth investigating.
I agree. What could the Lord Seeker be up to?
We shouldn't discount Redcliffe. The mages may be worth the risk.
They are powerful, Ambassador, but more desperate than you realize.
You think the invitation could be some kind...
If some among the rebel mages were
The same could be said about the
True enough. Right now, I'm not certain we have enough.
Then the Inquisition needs agents in more places.
In the meantime, we should...
There is one other matter. Several months ago, the Grey Wardens of Ferelden... Ordinarily, I wouldn't even consider the idea they're involved in all this, but the timing is curious.
Grey Wardens?
They're an ancient order that has existed to fight Darkspawn invasions since the first... They have faded since those glory days. Ordinarily, their order is neutral in political affairs, but they appear in strange places.
Do you have proof? It could just be a coincidence.
The others have disregarded my suspicion. 2 days ago, my agents in the hinterlands heard news. If you have the opportunity, please...
And if he can't?
Then there may be more going on than... Let's see what we have.
To work?
Chancellor Roderick came to speak with me. Could you try not to antagonize him?
If I offend the man so easily, perhaps he should try leaving me alone.
Greetings, Herald of Andraste. How fares your quest to seal the breach?
Well, you know how these...
You laugh to bring a little... And I'm glad to see it. They imagine Andraste as... I hope she found time for laughter during her trials. As I hope you do. Take it for whatever it is worth. In any case, I pray this Inquisition proves less brutal than its predecessor.
Is there anything I can...
My healers would benefit from more supplies. If you could deliver this list and the items on it to Quartermaster Thren, she could... It may not seem like much, but it would enable my healers to save...
Farewell.
Farewell.
With passioned breath does the darkness breathe. It is the whisper in the night, the lie upon your sleep.
Excuse me. I've got a message for the Inquisition, but I'm having a hard time getting anyone to talk to me.
Who are you, soldier?
Cremisius Aclassi with the Bull's Chargers Mercenary Company. We mostly work out of Orlais. We've got word of some Tevinter mercenaries gathering out on the... My company commander, Iron Bull. If you'd like to see what the Bull's Chargers can do for the Inquisition, meet us there and watch us work.